Hello there everybody, it is me FreezerBunny and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. Okay, so for today's speed build we're doing another set of apartments. This time we're going contemporary with a little bit of a Mediterranean type of inspiration as well. So I know that for many of you guys this style might look very familiar because this is actually a really popular style all over the world. Regardless of which country you live in, I'm pretty sure there are apartments out there that look very similar to this one. So you know, if it's in Florida or if it's in the Bahamas or Philippines, Indonesia, Monaco, all over the world there are apartments that look like this. Even in China, you know, even in countries that are not necessarily like tropical climate, there are many apartments that look like this. So I'm actually really happy with these apartments. They're particularly tall. I feel like these are probably the tallest apartments that I've ever built. So this has a total of 4 floors to live in. It has 2 bedrooms, and of course the usual thing, 2 bathrooms as well, and also a lot of like support rooms, I guess. You know, I am in love with that salmon color that I painted the outside. It is actually my first time using that color for an exterior paint, but it looks really awesome. I really like it, and I kind of followed with the Mediterranean theme, which was inspired by that color. When I used it, I was like, okay, I'm going Mediterranean with this one, so there you go. I imagine the people who live here love to travel. You know, they have 2 kids. So basically they're like a married couple that has 2 kids, and they like to travel all over the world, but their favorite destination in particular is the Mediterranean, obviously. So that would be like, you know, the south of France or Spain, Italy, Portugal, Greece. So, you know, I wasn't too specific with where in particular this is gonna be in the Mediterranean, but definitely when you guys see the finished product, you will see that it kind of belongs in the Mediterranean, okay? So just adding in some details here that would make it look legit, you know? So even though it's considered, you know, I would like to consider it as contemporary, there's a lot of detail that make this really modern, and there's also a lot of details that make this very traditional as well. We have the columns, we have the what are those things called? We have the columns, and we have those like trims and things that make it look really Roman and Greek inspired and all that stuff. But of course, this is an apartment, so obviously it was built probably recently, so you guys can also see some of that evidence of the recent construction of it by, you know, the sides especially show that it's recently built. And usually when I do apartments, I leave the sides empty, but some of you guys actually noticed that it would probably look better if I added something. So I decided to add this nice little feature on the side just to give it a little bit of, you know, just to give it a little bit of a point of interest, I guess, and all that good stuff. And also, by the way, I'm pretty sure you guys have already seen the intro video for this one, but initially I built this in Newcrest, but eventually I realized that I felt like, you know, obviously it's gonna look better in Oasis Springs, so I ended up just moving it to Oasis Springs instead, because I felt like it would look so much better in that neighborhood anyway. So yeah, and just fiddling with where I was gonna place this in the lot, you know, the building itself, and you guys will also see me kind of figure out the trims, because the trims are a huge headache. Every time I would add a room, the trims would go like all over the place and they would get messed up and stuff, so it was kind of a nightmare to take care of those things. But you know, I feel like they do add a lot to the build itself, so I did take the time to make them just as perfect as possible. So I also really liked how I used these curved balconies as well. I feel like they add that modernity to this very, I guess, traditional looking building. So obviously I just want to make it clear that this is not meant to be legit traditional, this is supposed to be a modern building trying to look traditional. It's aware of, that it's a modern building, and it just has that traditional look to it. So anyway, like I said, see, you guys can see how much I get sidetracked here. But the family who lives here are a couple. They live with their 2 kids. They love to travel all over the world, and they also like to collect a lot of souvenirs and stuff. So you guys will see that when we do the interior, there are gonna be a lot of like random knickknacks and things that they might have collected in their travels and things. And yeah, this also could be considered as a party house, because even though it has only 2 bedrooms, there's a lot of really nice spaces here. In particular, the topmost level has like a bar area, which is quite fun. I usually don't do that in my homes. I usually forget to add a bar, but I felt like it was really great to add that in this house, because I felt like it added a lot of personality and stuff. So okay, finally we are starting work on the ground floor. So even though it looks really big from the outside, this is actually a really small house or apartment, I guess. Well, technically, if you're saying apartments, it's kind of meant to be small anyway, right? So I mean, there's large apartments, but generally an apartment is not a mansion, right? So you don't expect it to be that large. Otherwise, it wouldn't be an apartment. So I have to admit that the ground floor, it's kind of, all over the place in a way. I guess I could say that I've done better floor plans, I guess, because I really had very limited space, so it had a lot of difficulty figuring out where things are gonna go and things like that. But eventually, though, I feel like I was very successful at doing what I wanted to do, capturing that kind of modern but traditional look of the Mediterranean, and at the same time creating a space where family can actually live in and enjoy themselves and just live normally, So yeah, unfortunately we still don't have any elevators in the game, so we have three flights of stairs that cover pretty much most of the 4 floors in this house. Also, you guys just saw that in the ground level there is a split level as well, which is quite fun. I always love to include split levels in my builds, because I don't know, they're just fun and they add a lot of dimension to the interior space as well. The kitchen for this one is actually a very interesting space. It is kind of like a diamond space, or like, what is that? Like almost like a triangle space. So you guys can see me try to furnish it. It's a good size, and I was able to fit in all the requirements for an actual kitchen here. I love having that floor to ceiling window, by the way, so yeah, like I said, we don't have the luxury of a space in this apartment, so the kitchen is somewhat small. And also another weird configuration probably for a lot of you guys is where I placed the dining room, actually. So the dining room is gonna go immediately on the main entrance. That's really weird for a lot of you guys probably, because in many countries dining rooms usually tend to be in a more private location, but in my country it's perfectly normal to have dining rooms that are facing the main door. Like I also see this in a lot of other Southeast Asian countries as well. Like if you're from Thailand or if you're from Indonesia, you will know what I'm talking about. Like it's perfectly normal to have dining rooms in front of the main door. And it's an apartment anyway, so if you're receiving guests, then they will be in one cohesive area of your house, right? So practical wise, it works, so I know that a lot of you guys might probably find it weird, the configuration of the floor plan, but I think it works, I think it's great. Usually dining rooms tend to be the more public space anyway of the house. So technically I think it makes a lot of sense to put it where it's closest to the main entrance. And then eventually as we move forward and upward into the other spaces, it becomes a little bit more private and intimate as well. So that's that. Tried to fit in some nice little plants, and there are gonna be a lot of plants in this house, of course. And I had a lot of fun using these terracotta sets, and I always put them in clusters just because I feel like they look really good together. And I also had a lot of fun placing those palm trees that consume quite a lot of space, but I feel like they make the space look pretty legit and pretty authentic, you know, like it looks like something that you would see in the Mediterranean. And okay, right now we are just throwing in some random knickknacks, I guess, and you know, paintings, things that the family might have collected on their travels. So there you go. And let's see here. I don't know. So anyway, how have you guys been doing? The last build that I did was the stadium. So it's been like 3 weeks since I've last done a build for you guys. Oh, we just moved to Oasis Springs. There we go. We have a nice little new location, and this thing looks 10 times better in Oasis Springs. Just saying, no offense to New Crust, but this thing looks 10 times better in Oasis Springs. And I also added like a front like facade type of thing that we always see as well in apartment buildings. We always have these like really elaborate gateways, so I wanted to add some of those as well. So anyway, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and ask you guys a question. So, okay, here it is. If you would have any vacation in the world for free, where would you want to go? Okay, like, you know, you don't have to think about how much it costs. I just want to let you guys I just want you guys to let me know in the comments below, where is your dream vacation? I live in a tropical country, so for me, I would probably like to go to Europe just to experience that culture. I'd love to go to Venice. I think that would be my ultimate dream vacation. I'm a little bit scared to go to Venice though, because I hear that Venetians, like, they hate tourists. If you're from Venice, no offense, but that's what I hear. I hear that people from Venice, they hate tourists. And I guess it's because that tourists kind of ruin their city or whatever. I don't know. They have their reasons. I'm not from Venice, so I couldn't tell, but that's just what I hear. But if I had an opportunity to go wherever I wanted, I would go to Venice, because that's just a magical place. Plus, I live in a tropical country, so tropical beaches and things like that I am very much used to already. So Venice, probably Florence, you know, like these really amazing historic places. I'd love to go to Spain and Russia as well. You know, my dad has been to St. Petersburg, and when he got to St. Petersburg, he calls me and he tells me that it is the most beautiful place that he's ever been to. Also, I have a little bit of a clogged throat, I guess. So if I sound a little bit weird, then that explains it. It's not a cold, but it's almost a cold. But yeah, my throat is clogged. So if my voice cracks or whatever, just please bear with me. Still, yeah. Because my country right now, we're moving on to the colder part of the year. So I think it's what I'm feeling right now. It's perfectly normal. Like outside, there is no sunlight because it's so cloudy. And it's like 12 noon. It's like 12 noon lunchtime, and there's like all fog. So yeah. Anyway, right now we're working on the second floor. First room that we're working on is the kids' bedroom, and I kind of went with the aesthetic that it's kind of like a mess, intentionally a mess, because these guys, they love to travel all over the world. They don't have time to kind of be fussy about their bedrooms and things. So, you know, some of the furniture is crooked, you know, they spend most of their time abroad more than they do in their own home. So, yeah. That's why it has like this very disheveled kind of look to it. Disheveled, that's a big word. But yeah, once again, I tried to be as gender neutral with the bedroom as I can. And I'm actually really, really happy with how it turned out. I was able to fit in a lot of personality, but at the same time kind of be gender neutral. And I cannot wait to get a kids themed expansion pack, actually, or like stuff pack, game pack. We need more like family stuff. Like, I would love to get like a family fun stuff. That would be so awesome. So, like I said, there's 2 bedrooms to this house, and 2 bathrooms as well. There are some rooms that can easily be converted to a bedroom though. So, like this one room here in between the bathroom and the bedroom on the 2nd floor, there is a study area. And if you guys want to, you can actually just convert it into a bedroom, throw in a bed, and it's all good from there. And yeah. Initially, I wanted to use some blue colored wallpaper, but eventually I decided against it because I felt like a brown color scheme would be better, just because I feel like the brown earthy tones kind of remind me a lot more of the Mediterranean. And I feel like it makes the house look a lot more cohesive as a whole. So even though I started off with using a lot of blue for this room, I will eventually change that into brown. So yeah, I used 2 colors of brown here. We have a yellowish brown and we have like a legit brown color. So yeah, there you go. I'll also change the color of those beds, by the way, later on. And another thing that I used quite a lot in this build are rugs. Like I said, the family, I'm gonna sound like a broken record when I keep talking about this, but the family, they love to travel. They love to collect artifacts from all over the world. And one particular artifact that they love to collect are Persian rugs and carpets. So each room has its own carpet, sometimes 2, sometimes even more. So, you know, once again, the carpets are kind of disheveled and all over the place, but that's kind of the look that I was going for. And there's also like a lot of bookshelves as well in this house because, you know, I don't know, just collecting books and reading books on the destinations and stuff is another thing that the family does. So this is a nice little study area where they could plan out their trips and things like that. Maybe if the parents are working, they can use this as like an office space. But like I said, if you guys wanted to make it a bedroom, then go ahead. That would be a perfect place for a 3rd bedroom for the house. And then this hallway over here had quite a lot of space. So what I did is that I actually threw in a nice little painting easel over here. Maybe one of the kids can be artistic and the destinations that they visit inspire them to kind of paint and stuff like that. So there are storage cabinets and shelves to keep all the art materials and all the good stuff. So yeah, I am trying to squeeze in every amount of space and making it as useful as I can. I love using this huge painting, by the way. It's like, I use that like a couple of times in this house, actually. And I'm not sure how much this thing cost in total, but I feel like it might be a little expensive because I did use a lot of really expensive paintings, as you guys can see. So yeah. Actually, most of the furniture that I used are very expensive and very luxurious. You can see that I used a very kind of worn out brown color. Like, it's like a brown, but it's also like a grayish brown. Like a very chocolatey brown. I felt like it made the furniture look very antique. And I actually really like it because, you know, along their travels, they would see antiques and they would collect it, and add it into their personal collection in their house. So over here, we are managing the staircases, making sure that they work. And these are I'm pretty sure they're gonna work, so nothing to worry about that. And let's see here. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and say that to everyone who has exams, good luck to you all. Stay strong. I know that it's probably exam season for a lot of you guys, especially for the States and for the UK and stuff. I'm not sure. But it's almost June and you guys are almost gonna spend your summer. My summer just ended, so school just started and we're about to do midterms next week. But to you guys who have exams, just stay strong and remember that summertime is only a couple of weeks away. So yeah, I am excited for you guys and I am so sad for me because my summer's over. So yeah, right now we're working on the master bedroom. Once again, I have that kind of disheveled, messed up kind of look with the furniture and I actually really like it because like I could just imagine the family like rushing to catch their plane to their new exotic destination. And of course, I could not miss out on including that luggage container, that like bunch of luggage that I always put in my builds anyway, but I feel like they would make especially a lot of sense in this build because the family and their personalities really kind of match with that kind of jet setter lifestyle. What's that word that I was thinking about? Tripster. There we go. These family are tripsters. If that makes any sense. Tripster is kind of a combination. I cannot talk. A tripster is a combination of a traveler and a hipster. So, yeah, they love to travel all over the world and they love to travel places that are not usually on the itinerary. You know, these are not mainstream tourists. And since this family travels quite a lot, then they are definitely tripsters, you know, and they love collecting exotic things and all that stuff. I haven't been outside of Asia. I've only been to a couple of foreign countries like Hong Kong and neighboring countries in the Philippines. So I'm kind of jealous with people who have been to like, you know, Europe. Europe is like my dream destination. I'm kind of scared though to go to Europe because I feel like people are gonna like be all racist towards me. Cause I don't know, I don't want to talk about it, but that's always like an insecurity that I have anyway, which I'm slightly overcoming it a little bit more because I know that a lot of you guys are so supportive towards me regardless of race, which is correct, of course, no labels, but we couldn't avoid some cultures that discriminate towards others. I am saying this because PewDiePie, I watched his vlog when he went to like Greece and I remember like one time he was apparently buying like ice cream and there was this one guy who was, no offense to Greek people, but I'm just sharing a story that I saw in one of PewDiePie's vlogs. But yeah, there was this one old Greek man that was like calling him gay and stuff and that he should like burn for it or whatever. I don't know. It was a while ago, so whatever. But I'm kind of scared that would happen to me too. That's my point, okay? If that happened to me, I'd probably just stay in the hotel. And all that money wasted because I couldn't see anything. See, so much insecurity. But you know what? I know that a lot of people all over the world are becoming more and more open-minded. And even though I'm insecure, I should just take the chance and not pay attention to what people say. That's what I'd like to believe, okay? Moving on, we're finally starting to furnish the topmost level of the house, and I felt like it was appropriate to make this like a fun little activity space because the view from this place is amazing. Plus, we have that a lot of floor to ceiling windows, which kind of just, showcase the view of Oasis Springs. So there's 2 rooms in this particular level. We have the gym and we have kind of the bar / party area. I totally forgot to throw in like a stereo or whatever, which I always do. I always forget about stereos in the game. But yeah, for the gym area, I threw in some gym equipment from Spa Day, and also mostly from Spa Day actually, and also a lot of things from Get Together as well. A lot of lights from Get Together and all that stuff. Just please, you guys, make sure that you have all expansion packs and all stuff packs if you download my stuff, because that is usually what I use. I usually use everything I have. So yeah, also I'm so excited to for the new game pack. Oh my gosh, you guys, restaurant, like what Dine Out looks like it's gonna be the most amazing game pack ever. Like, I'm dying for the release of that game pack, like really, like I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Dine Out. I might actually live stream it if I can figure out how to live stream. Maybe not. I really don't know. But yeah. We're just working on the what is this area? The bar area. And then over here we have a nice little corner where we're gonna throw in a sitting area and all that good stuff. So there you go. Really, really nice rugs as well. Persian carpets and rugs that they might have collected when they were traveling around Turkey or Jerusalem, Israel, or whatever. So yeah. Anyway, let's see here. What else should I talk about? I'm so excited to discover what the new expansion pack is going to be as well for The Sims 4. Because I have no freaking idea. And I expect a new expansion pack to come up really, really soon. Probably the next couple of months we're gonna have a new expansion pack announcement, because Get Together was released almost 6 months ago. So yeah, probably around October we're gonna have a new expansion pack. So whatever that is, I have no freaking idea, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be awesome. And then we're just kind of reconfiguring some things over here. The chess table, I actually moved it to the topmost level just to give that space a little bit more functionality. And then I threw in some chairs as well for your Sims to sit in and kind of just lounge around in the hallways. And yeah, pretty much we are finishing off some nice little details. I actually made triangles out of those curved roof edges and stuff because I felt like it just looked better. And then we're throwing in some nice little lights. This thing illuminates amazing at night, by the way. Like, I spared no expense when it came to the lighting for this. So yeah. Also, I found these really, really nice lights that came with Get Together. They look so European. I'm just like, I just had to include them. So yeah, there we go. I feel like they would also make this a lot more expensive because they used a lot of them, like a lot. So over here, we're just throwing in a light here and there. Actually, there's a lot of lights all over the place, but I think it's fun. And then, you know, adding in a lot more European influences, and specifically Mediterranean, actually, just to make it look more authentic. Like, it really did try hard to pass off as an apartment in the Mediterranean. And of course, these are very luxurious apartments. So, like, definitely when you go to Monaco, you probably see a lot of apartments like these. And yeah, pretty much once we're done with the lights, we can go ahead and move on to the landscaping. which is also quite fun as well. There's a lot of palm trees for the landscaping, which is quite weird because this type of palm, I don't necessarily associate it with the Mediterranean, but I use them quite a lot though, so whatever. There we go. And there is a hot tub in the backyard, which is quite awesome. I don't know why it's awesome, but you know, I mean, how awesome is it to have a hot tub in your backyard, right? I always forget hot tubs exist. Especially for residential lots, like I always forget those, but I'm so happy that I went a little bit more luxurious with this one, and I think it turned out really well. So just throwing in some nice little landscape ornaments and stuff. I'm having so much fun landscaping in The Sims 4, more than I expected it to be though. I love the plants in the game, and I'm so excited to get a lot more tropical themed plants actually in future expansion and game packs, because we're just lacking. Like, I'd love to have a banana tree, a mango tree, you know, like a ton of other options when it comes to palm trees, because there's a lot of different palm trees as well. And also some new swatches for terrain paint would also be great. Terrain editor would be great. Oh my gosh, this is like a checklist of things that I want for the game. Anyway, let's see here. Also, I threw in some hydrangeas. I feel like they add in a nice little classy touch to this look, and then to this house. And then we're gonna throw in some rocks, because of course we are at the Mediterranean. Just lots of rocks all over the place, and I love playing with rocks. Actually, they add a lot more dimension to the build, and especially when I'm doing like Mediterranean themed builds, I always like to throw in some occasional rock or two. And we have these benches, and I'm so happy that I finally remembered to add a trash bin, or like a garbage bin, and a mailbox as well, because I kind of forget those all the time, but this time not really, because there we go. Trash bin, check. Mailbox, check. And I'm just so proud of myself for remembering to place those, because they do make sense. I mean, they are a requirement, especially mailboxes. You know, if you don't place any, the game will automatically place mailbox. But anyway, it looks like that is it for the speed build part of this video. Let's go ahead and cut onto the screenshots of the floor plans, where you guys can see all the levels of this house and how it works and all that good stuff. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up my commentary for this video right here. Okay guys, I hope you guys had fun watching this video, because I had so much fun recording it for you guys. Okay, so like I said, that is going to be it for this speed build. Once again, please don't forget to hit that like, favorite, and subscribe button if you guys had fun watching this video, because it really does help out the channel a lot. Okay, you all have an awesome day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.